Let me tell you something most men misunderstand. Attraction is rarely announced. It's revealed. It doesn't come with a clear statement. It shows up in patterns, in energy, in small, consistent behaviors that many overlook. Now, here's the mistake most men are looking for loud signals, dramatic signs, undeniable proof. But real attraction? It's subtle, controlled, sometimes even hidden. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, she invests her attention. She finds reasons to be around you. Conversations don't feel forced, they flow. There's a natural curiosity. She wants to know more, not because she has to, but because she feels drawn. You'll notice something else. She becomes more present. In a distracted world, presence is rare. If she gives you her focus, her time, her energy, that's not accidental. Pay attention to how she responds to you. Does she engage? Does she smile more? Does her tone soften? Attraction often shows in comfort and openness. And here's a powerful one: she reacts to your absence. When you're not there, does the connection pause or does she reach out? People make time for what they value. But let me give you the deeper lesson. These signs are not tools for chasing, they are signals for awareness. A confident man does not beg for attention. He observes. He understands. He chooses. Because the goal is not to make everyone attracted to you, the goal is to recognize who already is. And when you combine awareness with self respect, something shifts. You stop guessing. You stop overthinking. You stop forcing connections that were never meant to grow. Instead, you move with clarity. And clarity is where real confidence begins. Attraction does not respond well to force. The moment you try to manufacture it through pressure, constant messaging, or over explaining yourself, it begins to lose its natural rhythm. What is meant to grow organically becomes strained, and what could have developed smoothly starts to feel heavy. Real attraction reveals itself through patterns, not promises. It shows up in consistency, in the way someone chooses to spend their time, in how easily conversations flow without effort. When someone is genuinely interested, they don't need to be convinced to engage, they participate willingly. There is a sense of ease, not confusion. The challenge for many is that they try to create signals instead of recognizing them. They overanalyze silence, chase attention, and ignore what is clearly being shown through behavior. This is where awareness becomes powerful. When you train yourself to observe instead of react, you begin to see the difference between curiosity and politeness, between genuine interest and temporary attention. Observation requires patience. It asks you to slow down, to step back from emotional urgency, and to look at what is consistent over time. Anyone can show interest for a moment, but not everyone can maintain it. Consistency is what separates real attraction from passing interest. When you understand this, your approach changes. You stop trying to prove your worth and start evaluating alignment. You stop chasing responses and start recognizing patterns. And in doing so, you protect your energy while allowing the right connections to reveal themselves naturally. Self respect changes the entire way you approach relationships. When you truly value yourself, you no longer feel the need to chase validation or constantly seek reassurance from others. Instead of asking, "Do they like me?" your mindset shifts to, "Does this align with what I deserve?" Many people give away their power by placing their worth in someone else's hands. They wait for replies, overthink small changes in behavior, and adjust themselves just to maintain attention. But the more you depend on external validation, the more unstable your confidence becomes. It rises and falls based on how someone else feels that day. True confidence is built differently. It comes from having standards and honoring them, even when it's uncomfortable. It means recognizing that not every connection is meant for you, and that's not a loss, it's clarity. When you respect your own time, energy, and emotional investment, you become more selective, not more desperate. This doesn't mean becoming distant or cold. It means being grounded. You can show interest without losing yourself. You can care without compromising your values. And when something feels inconsistent or misaligned, you don't ignore it. You acknowledge it and adjust accordingly. The powerful shift happens when you stop trying to earn attention and start expecting mutual effort. You begin to notice who meets you halfway and who doesn't. And instead of holding on tightly to uncertainty, you let go with confidence. Because self respect is not about proving your value to others, it's about never questioning it within yourself. When you combine awareness with self respect, everything becomes clearer and simpler. You stop chasing what needs to be forced, and you start recognizing what flows naturally. You no longer get caught up in mixed signals or temporary attention because you've trained yourself to observe patterns instead of reacting to moments. At the same time, self respect keeps you grounded. It reminds you that your value is not something to be negotiated or proven. You don't need constant reassurance when you already understand your worth. This allows you to approach relationships with calm confidence instead of emotional urgency. The result is a powerful shift. You move from seeking approval to making decisions. You begin to choose connections that align with your standards rather than settling for what simply shows up. And when something feels off, you don't ignore it or chase clarity. You trust what you see and act accordingly. This is where real strength is built. Not in controlling others, but in mastering your own mindset. Not in forcing attraction, but in recognizing it. And not in holding on to uncertainty, but in having the confidence to walk away from it. When you live this way, relationships stop being confusing and start becoming intentional. And that is where both clarity and confidence truly come together.